in college football.
I didn't hear you.
I'm going to be the greatest in college football.
The people in the back didn't hear you.
You don't want to just see it, then go somewhere else. Don't fuck with me, bro. That's how it's going to be. I'm going to be the greatest.
Say it again.
That's right. Okay? They're not worried about him and his long-term success. But I'm letting you know right now, at this spot right here, University of Alabama, that's what we're talking about. We're going to create your future for you, god dang it. Okay? All right? We're going to speak it into existence.
Amen.
Everybody know.
Fam, what's up? What's up?
I'm one of the greatest. And go
How's everybody doing? You guys all right? Look, I've been watching this clip a million times. All right, can you guys see this?
The people in the back didn't hear you.
Can you guys see this? Man, this is this is Jamarcus Shepard, all right? This is Alabama's wide receiver coach. He's getting absolutely lit. Can everybody see this to start off the show?
I'm letting you know right now, at this spot right here, University of Alabama, that's what we're talking about.
What's up, everybody?
Create your future for you, god dang it. Okay, all right? We're going to speak it into existence.
There you go. This is Coach Jamarcus Shepard.
There you go.
Hey, I'm one of the greatest and going to be the greatest in all of college football.
Say it again.
Okay? The greatest in college football.
I didn't hear you.
I'm going to be the greatest in college football.
The people in the back didn't hear you.
You don't want to just see it, then go somewhere else. Don't fuck with me, bro. That's how it's going to be. I'm going to be the greatest.
Say it again.
That's right. Okay? They're not worried about him and his long-term success.
This is
right now.
that was Coach Jamarcus Shepard, all right? He is getting absolutely lit. And I think that's kind of the energy that you're seeing from the back end from these coaches, all right? I've watched that clip a million times. So in that clip, Jamarcus Shepard, who absolutely brings the fire for Alabama, is recruiting Travis Smith, the wide receiver. So that is the type of momentum and energy that is out there for Alabama. What's going on? It's Kyle Anderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you got to get your workout in as well. Before we go, this is the thing that we've started, a couple weeks ago. We do the calorie burn. So I see Max, you're already in there. I'm at 548 calories burned, all right? So feeling good, got the workout in. You should too. Happy Thursday. I hope you guys had an amazing Wednesday. There's a lot of news to go over. I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to talk right here on Bama Football on YouTube. If you were a subscriber, I appreciate you guys. If you guys are a fan funder, I love you guys. $2.99 to support the product. We'll drop the link inside the comment box. Kyle Henderson at Bama Football on YouTube. Look, the fire, the energy, the cold summer, it's all happening right here in Alabama. What we're going to talk about today is kind of a preview of the weekend visitors, all right? We're going to look at which visitors are coming. Some guys are committed, like Abdul Sanders, who you're seeing on the screen right here. Other guys, like 5 stars, are definitely coming. And Khalil Lockett, who I have right here on the screen, was just here in Alabama, posted up with Coach Kalen DeBoer yesterday. So here's a look right now. What's going on? Kyle Anderson of Bama Football on YouTube. William, what's up? I see you inside the comment box. Jeff, get moving. Caitlin, what's going on? JS, Web Production, Byron Russell, JVon, Max Tooney, William, everybody inside the comment box, thank you very much for being here. Here's a look at the weekend visitors. Now, there's more visitors that are coming, and Khalil Lockett, like I said, was just here in Alabama, loved Alabama, and in fact, in a recent article, he is quoted as saying that he is seriously committing Alabama. Seriously thinking about coming to Alabama. Everybody would love for him to be committing, right? And I think, why not Alabama? You just saw Coach Jamarcus Shepard, absolutely lit. That is going to be your wide receiver coach every single day. You don't think he wants the best for you? So Khalil Lockett saying that Alabama's certainly in play, and you got the quarterback from Texas, Keelan Russell, who's out of the Elite 11, who's absolutely balling out, and one of the top quarterbacks at the camp. I'm sure you've seen the updates as well. Every single year, the Elite 11, the most established quarterback event, hosts the top quarterbacks in the land, and Keelan Russell is one of those guys. So Khalil Lockett was here from Monday to Wednesday. There's plenty of articles that you can read, updates, but everything seems so positive with him, and I'm not surprised to see it. I mean, Jamarcus Shepard is a fantastic wide receiver coach and probably has the most energy out of any of the coaches on the staff. You looked at what he did in the past. I mean, this guy was at Purdue. Remember Rondale Moore? Coached him up. You look at Washington's wide receivers. He coached them up. And over here, he wants these wide receivers to be takers, right? Takers, a very aggressive coach. So here's a look at the guys that are coming in. Look, Justus Terry, this is getting really interesting, okay? He's the second player right here on the board that we're talking about. He's a 5-star. Now, over the last 2 days, that was, Wednesday and Tuesday, USC has lost 2 5-star commitments. 2, all right? 2 5-star commitments. I don't know what's going on at USC. I don't really care what's going on at USC, but I like the fact that Justus Terry canceled his visit to USC, and he is coming to Alabama this weekend, okay? I say it again. He is coming to Alabama this weekend. So he's a 5-star defensive lineman. Actually, let's run some tape on Justus Terry, a big-time prospect out of the state of Georgia. 6'5", 265 pounds, 78 tackles. He had 13 sacks. This guy is an absolute mauler. When you're looking at players that you absolutely would love to jump on board. Blakely, what's up? I see you was out the comment box. Justus Terry is that guy. Now, look, Todd, what's up? I appreciate you being here as usual. Look, Justus Terry coming in. You give him the red carpet treatment. 5 stars are coming. You get him with Courtney Morgan. You get him with Freddie Roach, who's a very underrated recruiter. And I get it. You have London Simmons, who just committed, but you need more depth within that position. And, man, you get a guy like this. This catapults Alabama through the roof. This guy, go look up his highlight tapes. We'll play him here for a little bit. This is Justus Terry. He's everything that you want in a defensive tackle. He would be kind of the next wave. And I think a couple days ago, I said London Simmons, defensive tackles, in my opinion, they need some time to be able to get on the field. I don't know if you could say this about Justus Terry. I think that he is just that good of a player. You get him in, and I think that, who knows? I mean, because I asked you guys a little bit ago, like, who were one of the first defensive tackles to be able to step on the field right away? Talking about Justus Terry for just jumping in. Decommitted from USC. 2 5-stars did recently, and he will be in Tuscaloosa this weekend with a whole host of other big-time ballers. This is probably, look at this guy. He's fighting off like 4 guys. This weekend of recruiting is big. I think this is probably the biggest weekend, and it capped off with hosting Khalid Lockett, right? The 5-star at Texas. We're watching Justus Terry, his highlights right now on Bama Football on YouTube. Look at him, absolute mauler. All right, so this is who's coming into town this weekend. Really big weekend of football. What's going on? Kyle Henderson and Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. If you guys could take a minute, hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to take some coffee for just 1 second. All right. As we kind of roll down the list and look at the prospects that are coming, you also have Dejon Lee. So everyone's like, where are the 5-stars? Look, the 5-stars are right here. Khalid Lockett was just here. Justus Terry, he's coming. And Dejon Lee, one of the most coveted defensive backs in the class of 2025 out of the state of California. Okay, we've talked many times that California is now a direct pipeline for Coach Kalen DeBoer, considering he was out on the West Coast. This corner, I think, is another guy, Caleb Cunningham. Yes, Brandon, thank you so much for adding him. We'll add him to our board on our next show. Caleb Cunningham will also be here, a very talented 5-star as well. So, to my point, the 5-stars are coming. And thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you. With Dejon Lee coming in, you get him with Mo Lindquist. You get him with Colin Hitchell, these guys who have been 5-star recruiters, right? And you kind of showcase him the philosophy, and you also show him, look, while we have the secondary players here and we feel good about our secondary, we've talked about it, Damani Jackson, Keon Sabb, Malachi Moore, you can be a part of this future, right? You look at the guys in the back end, Jalen Mbakwe, Xavier Brown, Red Morgan, Zay Mincy. You need guys behind those guys. After all of those departures, I think so the 5-stars, and I think right now, if you look to the rankings and kind of their predictions, it says Dejon Lee to Bama. Is that early? I don't know. I mean, he commits here on the 28th. Alabama's going to have one last crack at him before he does make his final announcement. So that's Dejon Lee. You also have Caleb Cunningham, not on our board, but he is a 5-star. He's coming into town this weekend as well, okay? Derek Meadows out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Bishop Gorman, everybody knows about Bishop Gorman. He is coming in as well. And those guys, can you imagine those guys getting to meet Jamarcus Shepard and kind of that energy. You saw the energy that he was giving with Travis Smith. I mean, I just played that clip a little bit ago, and I'll play it again. I mean, guys coming with the absolute fire, 1,000,000%. Micah DeBose is a 4-star offensive lineman. Alabama's been doing a fantastic job building up that offensive line so far. Love what I see from the offensive line. Michael Carrup, Mal Waldrip, and you recently got Jackson Lloyd. So those are kind of the first 3 pillars of Alabama's recruiting class for the offensive line. We talked about the quarterback, Keelan Russell, who's out in California. And once you got your quarterback, you saw the offensive linemen started to jump on board. Max, what's up? Just curious, have all of our commits actually had committable offers? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I'm sure, some other people could answer inside the comment box. But, yeah, I think everybody, is good to go in terms of the guys who are committed. Abdul Sanders, I know he was recently in Tennessee, and I'm sure Tennessee rolled out the red carpet for a prospect who's a linebacker out of the state of California again. Because right now, what do you have? 3 prospects that are committed from the state of California? Just talking off the top of my head. Jackson Lloyd, right, out of Northern California. Abdul Sanders, who is out of Los Angeles, and then Alex Oshbaroff, the punter, right? Are those the 3 commits from California? You have 4 with Chuck McDonald as well. That's 4 commits from the state of Alabama, or from the state of California that have committed to Alabama. And then you bring on Dejon Lee, that would be 5, right? Can someone do some quick research out there, undefeated? What is the most prospects from California that Alabama has ever had in one recruiting class? Because right now you have 4. What would that be? All right. Antonio Coleman is in. He will be here as well. He's a prospect from Lower Alabama who is committed to Auburn, then flipped to Alabama. He was just at Auburn, but is still fully committed to Alabama. But remember, these players take their visits, which I would too. Speaking of, Luke Metz was just at Georgia. He is from Georgia. He will be back in Tuscaloosa. So getting him back, Todd is saying Johnson will eventually flip. And we're not even talking about like Naheem Oford. So, I mean, look at all these 5-stars. We're not even talking about Ty Haywood, right? So I'm just saying these are the 5-stars that are certainly being targeted. Ty Haywood, that seems reasonable. Naheem Oford, we probably think he's going to flip. There's 2 5-stars. Khalid Lockett said that he's certainly considering Alabama. There's 3 5-stars. Justus Terry, he's coming in. At least he's coming to see. I know Georgia fans feel really good. Caleb Cunningham, that's another 5-star. Dejon Lee, right? So the 5-stars are out there. All right. And Brandon, yeah, Meadows is, I believe Meadows is out of Los Angeles, right? All right, we'll jump back to recruiting. Undefeated, yeah, 1. We got the super chat. Keep up the good work, Kyle. Roll Tide sent you an email about 2-day visit with Coach Stallings. Appreciate it. I just saw this email come in. I just literally got it, so I appreciate you, and thank you so much for the super chat. Remember, if you want to become a fan funder or super chats, I greatly appreciate it right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I wanted to kind of switch gears just a little bit and ask you about, and we'll jump back to recruiting, but I wanted to get everybody in, and then we'll hit on recruiting one more time. And like Todd is saying, Keelan Russell probably be a 5-star as well, right? Especially after the performance that he's had at the Elite 11. Okay. I want to ask you this. So look at this board right here, because we started talking about it a little bit yesterday. Most underrated players going into the actual season. All right. So think about this right here. My email is nmpreps, nmpreps @gmail.com. nmpreps@gmail.com. While you guys look at this board and type it in, I will type in my email inside the comment box. Okay. So most underrated players. This is what I'm asking you. And I'm asking you to type one of the numbers for the player that you feel is most underrated going into the season, or type 8 if you feel there's another player that you would like to add on. Hey, John. So with the YouTube ads, that is how I get paid. So as you know, like, this is what I do professionally. And I like to explain this so everybody understands, kind of the format of how I run things. So I literally my paycheck greatly fluctuates per month. So the summertime, it's very challenging to scrape by because those are lower months. During the football season, things are good. But I need the YouTube ads. I need the super chats. I need the members to continue to do this for a full-time basis. I have 2 kids that I have full-time. I have a mortgage just like you. And I think a lot of times people see YouTube and they're like, oh, you're doing this on the side. No. Like, this is my full-time. This is my livelihood. So whether it's super chats or watching like a quick ad, I appreciate you guys kind of navigating through that, because that is honestly how I make a living. And I want to be transparent with you guys because like, I don't get a salary from On3, from Rivals, from 24/7. I literally get paid once a month at the back end of the month. And some months are really fruitful, like January. And I had a really big quarter because of Nick Saban's retirement, right? But like this second quarter and third quarter, they'll be a little bit lower just because of, it's not football season, but kind of the start when things pick up is August through the season. So as a content creator, that is how I earn a living. So I just want to be transparent with you guys. But I have 105,000 subscribers, so it adds up, and I've been doing this. Think about this. This isn't like I just didn't start like for 1 month. I mean, obviously I would have jumped to another job if I couldn't make it, but I've been doing this. I've been in this space. Think about this. I have YouTube videos that are 20 years old. Right? And I've been covering Alabama on the YouTube channel for 8 years, right? 2 consecutive years in a row, I have done this full time, just YouTube, right? So I appreciate your guys' support. So will you guys type 1 for Devontae Smith, right? Yes, Alabama has another Devontae Smith. Type 2 for Quay Russo. I think another player that is vastly underrated. Caitlin, thank you so much. Brandon, thank you so much. We appreciate you guys' super chats. Type 3 for Richard Young. Type 4 for Emmanuel Henderson. I might be typing 4. Type 5 for Kendrick Law. Super underrated. Type 6 for Jam Miller. Type 7 for Tim Smith. Or type 8 and list your own inside the comment box. I'm going to add my email right now inside the comment box because I know people have been trying to get to email me. So you go ahead and list that right now. I literally am going to type it in my phone as well with you guys as we're watching. And we have, if you could hit the thumbs up too, I appreciate you guys being here. Brandon and Caitlin, thank you so much. Caitlin, good to see you. One of my biggest supporters along Patriot Life. I appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And my email has just been posted. nmpreps@gmail.com. All right. Premium all day. Appreciate you guys. For me, when I look at this list, and I'll talk recruiting on the back end as well. Too many choices. Can we pick them all? Yeah. 1 through 7, right? Just post 1 through 7 inside the. Oh, you know what? I think Malachi is a really good addition, to be honest, right? I think because he's the lone guy returning within the secondary. All right. William, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Brandon and Caitlin as well. Appreciate you guys. Because nobody thinks about Malachi Moore. And he played over 500 snaps last season. All right. So 8, that's a good addition on Malachi Moore. I thought about adding Kobe Prentice. I really did. I hype up Kobe Prentice a lot. And I feel that because he had a successful last couple of seasons, we might be sleeping on Kobe Prentice as well. I started thinking about Devontae Smith a little bit because when I start talking about Alabama's secondary, I don't really talk about him, and that's my fault. And he's a great player who was sidelined by an injury last season. That's why he couldn't get on. Jeremy Bernard is a great addition as well. But I think considering that he had a good spring, he's kind of on the radar. But like Devontae Smith, you're like, damn, like you have Keon Sabb, who people talk about, Damani Jackson, love saying that name, right? Malachi Moore is back there as kind of the returning vet. Some new guys coming in, Deshaun Jones. But I think we certainly are sleeping on Devontae Smith. He's a baller. He's a very good player. Quay Russo. And I added him, and I thought about adding Q Robinson as well, right? Because I feel like Q Robinson has always been a beast at the outside linebacker position. What about you? What do you think about Q Robinson? Brandon says, Kyle, I wish Jalen Hell was healthy. Dude was going to eat this year, man. I think Yeah, I mean, because, when we were talking earlier in the season, Jalen Hell could have been one of those guys to be an absolute, baller, to be a starter. Chris, what's up? I see you in the house. Good morning to you. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming in from New Jersey. Look, I do think that Kobe has put on some good weight. And a lot of times you forget about how fast Kobe is, right? Kobe Prentice. I wanted just to add Richard Young because, and I don't think anyone's sleeping on him anymore, but I just wanted to add his name, out of respect. The guy just posted a photo on social media. He looks shredded. So does Justice Haynes. And then I added Jam Miller because, look, even though he is the guy, I still think people forget about Jam Miller. And not so much our ecosystem of Alabama football fans, but I think the world of college football. You're not going to see Jam Miller on a college football magazine. That's just, they don't know about him yet, but you will at the end of the season. Tim Smith, could be another one. Yesterday we were talking about LT Overton. Maybe he could be. Patriot Live's up in here. Appreciate you being in here, Patriot Live. Love to see it, man. Thank you so much. Love the avatars. Good to have you guys. Thank you so much. All right. So let me see if I can play this video at the beginning, because a lot of I opened up with this video of Jamarcus Shepard, Alabama's wide receivers coach, being absolutely hyped. And this is when he was recruiting Travis Smith. All right. Caitlin is saying you want more weight. And you got to look. The thing is, a lot of people, I think, when they're working out, I'm going to show this Jamarcus Shepard clip in just a second. A lot of people think when they're working out, you need to run. But it's really lift heavy weights. Right? When you lift heavy weights, that has been the most effective thing, especially as I've gotten older, right? Lifting heavy weights and running, sprinting, those are the things that are, kind of helping. All right, let me see if I can play this clip. This is Jamarcus Shepard. See if I can add this. I do all the editing and stuff like that on the fly. Let me see if I can get this. All right, this is Jamarcus Shepard, absolutely hype, and he's recruiting right here. Travis Smith, the wide receiver, right? You're going to hear it on the screen.
I'm worried about him and his long-term success, but I'm letting you know right now, at this spot right here, University of Alabama, that's what we're talking about. We're going to create your future for you, God dang it. Okay? All right? We're going to speak it into existence.
Amen.
Everybody know.
There you go.
Hey, I'm one of the greatest and going to be the greatest in all of college football.
Say it again.
Okay? The greatest in college football.
I didn't hear you.
I'm going to be the greatest in college football.
The people in the back didn't hear you.
You go somewhere else, don't fuck with me, bro. That's how it's going to be. I'm going to be the greatest.
Say it again.
Okay? They're not worried about him and his long-term success. But I'm letting you know right now, at this spot right here, University of Alabama, that's what we're talking about. We're going to create your future for you, God dang it. Okay? All right? We're going to speak it into existence.
Amen.
Everybody know.
There you go.
Hey, I'm one of the greatest and going to be the greatest in all of college football.
Say it again.
Okay? The greatest in college football.
I didn't hear you.
I'm going to be the greatest in college football.
The people in the back didn't hear you.
You go somewhere else, don't fuck with me, bro. That's how it's going to be. I'm going to be the greatest.
Say it again.
That's right.
Does that not, that absolutely makes you want to run through a wall, right? And that's what the players are getting every single day. That is what these new, because sometimes, we're just talking, recruiting recently, right? So we're not even talking about the players. But can you imagine what the players are getting, that type of energy every single day? I knew Holman Wiggins, right? He'd roll through, great guy. He didn't have that energy, right? Few people do in life. And the kids that are getting that type of mentorship every single day, that's what we're talking about. That is the new energy, okay? And I think when players understand this new energy and the hype that is coming in, and I know we kind of refer to a hype man being like Coach Cochran, right? He had that fire. He had that intensity. That's why a lot of people wanted him to come back, because people like energy, right? This is football. It's a high energy game. You can't be slow in life. You ever try to go through life and being slow, having low energy? It doesn't work that well, okay? Specifically not in football. So I think with having him come back, you see kind of that energy. Now, these coaches, think about it. All right, I'm gonna do some research on this. Patriot Life has been a member of for 5 months. 5 months, right? All gas, no brakes. I appreciate you, Patriot Life. And I want to understand the coaching staff by age. Like, who is the oldest coach on this team? I think it might be Coach Kapilovic. But then after that, like, it's a younger staff. And I don't know if there was anybody that was that hyped, probably other than Saban, on last year's roster. So you need the hype. And the players need it. And look, if you heard Travis's mom, that's who the video belongs to, how hyped up she was, because she understands that's the type of mentorship, coaching, right? Accountability that your player is going to, that your son is going to have every single day at the University of Alabama. You hear what Coach Shepard was saying? It was not be the best player at Alabama, not be the best wide receiver. It was to be the best wide receiver in college football, right? So when you kind of look at, the visitors that are coming in, and we need to add Caleb Cunningham to this list, who's a 5-star as well. Those are the type of players that are going to get that type of energy to be able to vibe off this new wave of recruiting. And that's why things have been working so well for Alabama football. Coach Kalen DeBoer is genuine. The coaches have energy. The brand still exists. Alabama football is as relevant as they've ever been. Coach Saban is thriving in retirement, and I'm sure in some capacity he's still helping out Alabama, but I love how they've been able to transition over the leadership to Coach Kalen DeBoer. He's been rolling, and this program has never stopped. They really haven't. And people out there in college football that said that he couldn't recruit, they're being proven wrong right now. And you know what I was thinking is going to happen? Probably the same thing is going to happen like during the season. People are like, oh, he can't recruit. It's just like, he can't coach. And then he's going to start winning all these games. And look, I get it. The season's going to be really, really challenging. Look at the front-end schedule, the back-end schedule. We've talked about it. But, I think that he's going to prove everybody wrong on a lot of different fronts. He's in the prime of his life in terms of coaching. He's worked for it. He's here. So Kalik Lockett up at the top just left. There's some articles that you can read. I saw one put together by Joseph Hastings of On3. So depending on what recruiting sites you go to, 24/7 On3 Rivals, there's a lot of good information. I'm sure you guys are subscribed to those sites. They all do such a really good job. And I have a lot of great respect for those people in the industry that are still on kind of the editorial front. I've seen a lot of people go to YouTube, and I think it's probably, a tough balance to balance out like free information on YouTube and behind the paywall in terms of, your message board. But, I have a lot of friends in that industry that are really doing a good job, and I have a lot of respect for those guys. Worked with them before, and good to see it. And everybody's eating off Alabama. I mean, Alabama's absolutely crushing it. Patriot Life in here with 5 fan funderships. He gifted Darian, Jonathan, LaDawn, Benji. So you guys definitely say thank you to Patriot Life, because Patriot Life taking care of everybody inside the comment box. If you guys have questions for me before I bounce out of my morning segment, and how my morning segment works out in June, I say this often so you guys can kind of get in the rhythm of it. 7:30 a.m., probably for like 30 minutes, I kind of talk about the names that are coming here. We kind of chop it up in different fashions, and then as news happens, or if I'm feeling good around 12 or in the back end, I'll fire up a new show. So make sure that your notifications are turned on. You can do that by going to YouTube and turning your notifications on for this channel specifically, so you are notified when I go live, and you guys can catch my coverage right here on Bama Football on YouTube. But, I mean, the list is extensive. To be honest, I don't know if Justus Terry is going to commit to Alabama. I'm sure that Georgia, with the last 2 decommits being out of the state of Georgia, I'm sure Kirby's going to get his, which is fine. And he's done a good job. I mean, he has a lot of momentum coming in this season too, but so does Alabama. Alabama is going to get their 5 stars. Let me ask you, before I go, how many 5 stars, all said and done, do you think will come to Bama? I'm going to say Ty Haywood, that's 1. Dejon Lee, 2. Naheem Oford, 3. There's 3 for sure. And maybe 1 additional one. So that'll be 4. Ty, what do you think? Patriot Live, good to see everyone. Appreciate it, man. No, Patriot Live, you're always on here, man. Caitlin, good to see you as well. Todd, Todd, what do you think? How many 5 stars when all said and done? Naheem Oford, Dejon Lee, Ty Haywood, Who else? Who else do you think jumps on board? Oh, and Keelan Russell will be another 5. He'll be elevated to a 5-star, so that'll be 4. Bentley Boy is saying 5. UGA going to take the L in T-Town. Well, that's what's going to be so comical is, and I've talked about this before, when you talk about Alabama's football schedule, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying 4 to 5 too. I'm saying 4 for sure. 5 will be like cherry on top. Brandon's saying 3 to 4. I think because Georgia fans, look, they have a lot going on. Kirby Smart, all the success that they've had. But coming over to Alabama, let me ask you this. Who is the pressure on between Alabama and Georgia for this upcoming game? Alabama versus Georgia, 2024. Who's the pressure on? Matthew, what's up? I appreciate you being here. Chris from New Jersey, man. Love to see it. Pressure. Who is it on, Alabama or Georgia? Post it inside the comment box. I think it's 1,000,000% on Georgia. I think it's 1,000,000% on Kirby Smart. I think it's 100%, that Georgia is going to be the favorite in that. Exactly. Georgia's already favored in that game. Jarvis, where you at? What's the point spread on this game? What's the point spread on Bama versus Georgia? What is it, like 4.5 Georgia? Exactly. Ooh, Larry Jarvis saying Ackland Deer. Can you imagine if he commits to Bama too? Man, that would put up Bama up to like 5 or 6 commits. Georgia's coming to Alabama, okay? And I think it works well for both Alabama if they win or they lose. They win, and you know how much momentum they will get from that victory beating Georgia? A team that has probably won their last 34 out of 35 games. All right, Brandon is saying 4.5. Todd is saying 4. Whatever the case is, Alabama, I mean, you're the underdog, right? You're not supposed to be here. You have 2 weeks to prep for Georgia because your first 2 games, or your first 3 games, right? You have Western Kentucky. Oh, Mr. B, what's up, man? Appreciate you becoming a fan funder. Thank you so much, man. Love you, man. Love to see it. Pressure on Georgia 1,000% because people are expecting this season to be start of our downfall. Exactly. And just like the recruiting, right? People were like, they couldn't recruit, and here it is. I think what will happen in that game is Alabama will win that game, and they'll have so much momentum. I think, they'll probably have a tough time getting out of Wisconsin. They'll win by like 10 points, 14 points, but it won't be a pretty game. That's kind of my early prediction. But they'll gut out that victory. 3-0, extra week to prepare, heal up some, early season whatever, and then they'll beat Georgia. And I think it'll be certainly super close. Now, will they lose a game on that back end? Probably so. I don't know who it'll be to, but when you look to that back end of the schedule, it's going to be a gauntlet. Puts them into position to play in the SEC championship game. I would say my prediction is Alabama will play either Texas or Ole Miss or Georgia in the SEC championship. That's looking far out. Those are the 4 teams that I have because Ole Miss, their schedule, not to say it's easy, but I think they'll be cooking. I think they'll have a really good team, and I think same thing for Texas. So I could see, and Alabama doesn't play Texas or Ole Miss this season. Right, and there's still a scenario where Alabama and Georgia play 3 times this season, right? Regular season, SEC championship game. Somehow they get locked up in the playoffs. Greg is saying that as soon as one 5-star jumps on board, another will come. Yeah, I think so. Courtney Morgan's been killing it. Follow him on social media. He's got some really good stuff on Twitter, right? He's always posting like the cold emojis. So yeah, well, this is my morning segment. I appreciate you guys being here. If you guys have questions, you guys can post them inside the comment box or underneath any of the videos. Stay tuned for more coverage coming your way. This will be a really big weekend, so stay close to your phone. The notifications, have them turned on. And I appreciate you guys joining me on my morning segment right here on Bama Football on YouTube. My name is Kyle Henderson. I posted my email inside the comment box if you guys want to get a hold of me. I'm on Twitter. I don't post a ton. I sometimes and you guys can follow me on Instagram too, Mr. Kyle Henderson. That's mostly like my workouts or like kids or whatever, but not overly active on. I think the most social that I post is on Instagram. I also like to chef it out too. Like I love to cook. So, but I'll be back as news happens. You guys can always catch me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Have a beautiful morning. I appreciate you guys. Be good people, and I will catch up with you soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you to the Super Chats, everybody who contributed to the show this morning. Thank you so much for supporting me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Love you guys, and God bless.